The questionnaire or survey method. Factual survey are by far the most beneficial. The respondent is asked to state certain facts such as age or number of children. Opinion survey. The respondent is asked to express an opinion or make an evaluation or appraisal. Interpretative survey. The respondent acts as an interpreter as well as a reporter. Questionnaire design. The value of a survey questionnaire depends on its design, as there are so many ways in which a questionnaire can be formulated. It is difficult to develop a set of rules for doing so. Each one is unique. Consequently, the design of a questionnaire has been referred to as an art that is influenced by the researcher's knowledge of the population, the subject matter, common sense, experience, and pilot work. According to Crouch, 1986, questionnaires have four main purposes. Number 1. To collect relevant data. When drafting each question, the researcher should always ask, what use will the answers be? This relates back to the definition and purpose of the research, but also tests whether the question is phrased so as to produce the desired information. Number 2. To make data comparable. The wording of the questions and alternative answers should be clear and not open to more than one interpretation. The language employed should be simple so that it can be understood by all respondents. Sentences should be kept short and to the point. Carrying out a pilot survey on a small sample is useful for detecting any ambiguities. Number 3. To minimize bias. The phrasing of questions can bias the response given. For example, if a question begins with, "You don't think, do you?" a negative response is likely to be given. And if a question begins with, "Shouldn't something be done about?" a positive response is the likely outcome. Care should be taken to avoid wording questions that lead respondents to feel that one answer will be regarded as more acceptable than others. Number 4. To motivate the respondent. The respondent must be made to feel that answering the question will be interesting, useful, and not time-consuming. If the questionnaire is too long, this can be demoralizing for the interviewer and respondent, thus affecting both refusal rates and the quality of the data. The survey should begin with interesting questions, not with requests for personal details like how much do you earn. These questions can be placed at the end of the questionnaire. Benchmarking is essentially a management technique that allows companies to compare how well are they performing relative to their competitors to date. The application of benchmarking with tourism and hospitality industries has been confined mainly to hotels, Kozak, and Irmington. Benchmarking initiatives might induce collecting guest satisfaction scores for Sheraton hotels and resorts. Measuring guest satisfaction is a crucial part of marketing research and plays an important role in internal marketing. Guest satisfaction scores, GSS, are closely monitored by the research group, and results are shared with all hotels and all employees to measure satisfaction. Sheraton Hotels has commissioned NFO worldwide group to send out a questionnaire to every customer who stays in a Sheraton property in North America. Sampling. Because of the expenses associated with research, marketing managers often find themselves grappling with the question of how many people must be surveyed in order to obtain accurate responses. It is almost impossible and not very cost effective to interview every product user or potential product user. Therefore, a company's decisions are based on the opinions and reactions of a sample of the population. The sample selection process is as follows. Number 1. Defining the population. The first stage in the sampling process is specification of the target population. Number 2. Specifying the sample frame. This is a specification of the listing directory or roster from which the sample will be chosen. Number 3. Selecting the sampling method. The researcher has to decide whether a probability or non-probability approach will be applied to draw the sample and exactly how the sample members will be selected. There is a wide range of both probability and non-probability sampling methods. The case difference between the two is that in probability sampling, a statistical evaluation of sampling error can be undertaken, such an assessment is not possible for samples drawn by non-probabilistic methods. Therefore, the more accurate form of sampling is the probability method, in which each unit of the population has a known but not necessarily an equal chance of selection. Techniques of some within this method are simple, random, systematic, stratified, cluster, multi-phase, and area sampling. Number 4. Determining sample size. The selection of sample size has received considerable attention from critics of tourism research. Baker et al. 1994 suggests that there are two basic approaches for the tourism researcher interested in accountability and efficiency, required size per cell, and the traditional statistical model. The required size per cell approach requires approximately 30 responses for each demographic cell of data. For example, 2 genders, 4 ethnic groups, and 4 age groups would require a sample. Common research error: not including enough qualitative information, and improper use of sophisticated statistical analysis, and problem with interpretation. That's all. Thank you.